Ah, see, we're live.
Sweet.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
All right. From the industrial wastelands of Michigan to the fruited plains of Iowa, this is the American Greed Factory.
Why relate to its sheer perversity?
You are the dead. Remain exactly where you are. Make no move until you are ordered.
We burn them to ashes and then burn the ashes. That's our official motto.
Now we can see you. Clasp your hands behind your heads. Stand out in the middle of the
Hundreds
room.
of thousands of people on
Stand
YouTube
back
can
to
see
back.
us
Who
right
can
now.
explain the fascination of fire? What draws
Actually, my mom can see us right
young or
now.
old?
Here comes a candle to light you to bed.
Yeah, Mom
Here
watches a
comes
lot.
a chopper
Oh,
to
and
chop
weirdly
off your
enough,
head.
those letters appear the correct way. Why? I don't know why. We just talked right over the intro. Welcome to the American Greed Factory podcast. This is Nathan.
This is Conlon.
And Mark, back again.
Mark's back again.
Been a
Back for
while.
round 3, 4.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think I'm up there. I'm getting close.
Yeah, you're a regular part of the show now. We're gonna have to take cast and crew pictures pretty soon.
Yeah, no, I gotta send you my
Yeah. You got to write
direct
your
deposit information.
You got to
Yeah.
write a bio. You got to write a bio. Get your headshot.
Yep, you're gonna have to get your what's the union that the radio people belong to? Or do they?
Aftra or whatever something? I can't remember shit.
Yeah, there's one of them that's like voice actors and something. I don't know. I mean, not a lot of them are unionized because there's just not a lot of them left. Everyone else is doing podcasts.
Well, there's only 2 people doing voice work. No, 3. There's Troy Baker, Jennifer Hale, and oh crap, now I forgot the other guy's name.
I can't. Yeah, the guy from the video games.
Yeah, those are all the
Okay.
video game people.
Yeah.
Nolan North, that's it.
Yeah. And then there's a few people doing audiobooks, but who cares about that? Speaking of podcasts, I don't know if this is probably a little bit late, but I was waiting for all the news to come in, and I'm sure this is something that you either don't know anything about or neither one of you give a shit about, but Adam Carolla fired his co-host at the beginning of the year. Allison Rosen, remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fired her by email. She was in,
Wow.
she was in New York, and he sent her an email. You're fired.
Hey, about flying back tomorrow.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We won't talk about it on the show. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, they didn't for like a week. That's why, because I heard about it, and then a week goes by, and you never hear about it. And then, of course, the day Anthony Cumia is on his show, he decides to talk about it. So that's an interesting choice. Yeah, he
Speaking of
decides.
fired.
Yeah, speaking of fired, let's get the other fired guy on here, and who doesn't know anything about this or
Oh,
our
man.
show. But yeah, I guess the fans were pretty upset.
Did he say why? What happened?
He did have, yeah, he talked about it on the show. I guess you can probably listen to it more succinctly than
Right.
what I can explain it. But there were some things that were surprising. I don't know if you remember when I told you that he, like I actually threw some money at this. He went to war with the people that were trying to destroy podcasting. They were
Okay.
trying to patent troll it by saying, oh, we own the proprietary rights to RSS feeds or some bullshit like that. Anyways, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and he was the guy leading the charge, and he had like a Kickstarter or something, and he got a bunch of other podcasters in to donate the money from, like, some podcasts actually make money.
Right.
I mean, these mythical things, I've heard of them. I've never seen one for real, but I've heard of these mythical things. And they had an Amazon click-through, and a lot of podcasts do. So anything they talk about on the show, you can click through them, buy the book or movie or whatever on Amazon, and then they get a percentage, a very
Right.
small percentage of the proceeds. Well, he had all kinds of different people from different podcasts doing it. She had her own podcast that was pretty successful, and she wouldn't do it. She was like, no, I don't feel like, there was no explanation given. I guess she just didn't want to do it. And then when she did her own podcast, and it was part of what they call Corolla Digital Network or whatever, and there was a little stinger in the corner that says, this is part of Corolla Digital. Well, she wanted that really small and kind of out
the
of
way.
it, because she said she felt like her association with him, some guest didn't want to do her show. And So there were little things like that, like, oh, okay, so he's maybe not just being a complete douchebag, but firing somebody by email that you've worked with for 4 years, that's a douche move. I mean, I don't know. I get. What do you think is going to happen? Is this 90-pound woman going to beat the shit out of you? Is there going to be violence? You're the boss. It's your name on the show. You're fired. But at least you can do it to their face.
She might have a history, man. She might have fucking tried to stab a guy or something.
Yeah, who knows? The weird thing is, though, she's still doing her own podcast with the guys that work with his show. Like they're all doing it. So it's like, well, okay.
Awkward.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's awkward or not. It seems almost strangely amicable. Because she finally said something about it, I think Wednesday's like, well, I learned a lot working with him for 4 years, and I wish things could have ended different, but, so there wasn't any like, fuck you, he raped me, or, any of that exciting stuff.
Still doing a podcast. Now I got to figure out where my income will come from.
Yeah, well, she's pretty popular podcast, so. But he's the biggest podcaster in the world. Because not only does he do the Adam Carolla show, but he does like 10 others.
Yeah, I mean, him and Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
him and Kevin Smith are like an empire. I mean, they don't work together. As a matter of fact, I don't think they even like each other anymore. But
Kevin Smith, the comedian.
Yeah, the director.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't know that. I mean, I don't watch TV much anymore, but I just thought Carolla was like some deadbeat wannabe comedian. It was a big name like that.
No, he's the first guy. I think he was the first guy who made it big in podcasting. Right after Ricky Gervais.
Okay.
Ricky Gervais did the first huge, like, mega million download podcast, and then Carolla has spread himself around, and he has like TV shows and stuff that he does too.
Well, Mark Maron's probably like the biggest like single podcast.
Yeah.
But like Adam Carolla has a whole network where he has like he's on 6 different of his own shows, and then they have like 10 other podcasts on that network, and then Kevin Smith is the same thing, and then there's the Earwolf Network, which has Comedy Bang Bang and a bunch of other podcasts that are pretty popular.
Yeah.
And they also have a television show, like Mark Maron has a television show, and so does Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah. So it's pretty big. But he has one show, like this show was his most popular. It's his general talk show. He has like famous guests on. They talk about the news. His other shows are like, there's one about carpentry and one about cars and one about I'm hanging out with my friends. And
yeah, because he's like in real life he's a master carpenter, and then like he's also works on cars a lot, so he's practically a mechanic too. So
yeah, he's got some interesting sidelines. But unfortunately, he fired Allison Rosen, and now he's going to start a new podcast with Dennis Miller. Are we going down the spiral now? Which way are we going, Adam? Is this the end? Do I hear that Doors song playing in the background? This is the end.
I mean,
yeah, it sounds like it's going in a bad direction.
Yeah.
Dennis Miller was one of my favorite comedians from the 90s who lost his fucking mind at some point, and now he...
No, it was 9/11. 9/11.
Oh, was it 9/11 that he... Yeah, he lost his mind on 9/11.
I mean, you could always see he probably had a conservative bent, but like it didn't affect his comedy, and then it did.
Yeah. Because he went from being hilarious, from having the Dennis Miller Show on HBO, from doing great comedy albums, to I'm going to riff with Bill O'Reilly about how stupid liberals are and talk about football. And it's like, oh, okay, wow, how far you have fallen. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's genuinely funny.
Right.
But it's like, because it's like I've said before, I like to listen to Rush Limbaugh because I think it's kind of funny. I don't agree with it, but it's like, wow, this guy's doing a good job of being entertaining. But with Dennis Miller, it's like watching a guy die in slow motion. It's like, is this really where your fucking head's at?
It's like watching a friend lose his mind.
Yeah, it's just, it's sad.
It's
almost.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that guy, and you want to be happy, and then everything he says is like, it's just sadness.
Yeah.
Does he hear what he's saying?
Does he understand what he's saying? And Carolla's somebody who used to be like, I remember when that's weird because I can actually follow his arc, because when he was on Westwood One and when he was doing Love Line and stuff, he was a funny guy. And then when they had the Man Show, it's when all that ended in like 2009 when he lost his radio contract. The Man Show they'd walked away from that a long time ago, and he started his own thing and he started paying his own bills. Because I remember he was a big like Obama supporter and stuff in 2008, and he was like, "This is going to be good for the country." There's actually recordings. People play them to him a lot. Like, "Hey, remember you said this?" But when he started his own podcast and started paying his own bills, right to the right, he became a hardcore right winger. Because it is a lot different when you're the guy writing the checks than when you're just the dude who's like, I got a $10 million a year whatever contract. Right. But it's also it's sad to watch that transformation too. It's like, oh no. And then he's doing these shorts with people. It's a new thing with his podcast. It's like it's a football thing. Like, let's take a knee and stop. And basically, he tells people to work hard and try hard in life, and you won't be a loser. All things I could agree with. However, not everyone whose life is not going the way they wants to is a fucking loser and needs to like try harder. There's a little bit of luck there. There's a little bit of talent there. Right. We're not all just guys putting sheetrock insulation in the early 90s that are also brilliant raconteurs on the weekends. It's like some of the rest of us are just going to do sheetrock. Some of us are just going to drive forklifts. And it doesn't mean we're losers. It doesn't mean we deserve to live in poverty. Some of us, that's all we can do. We can always hope for better, but, we can also get struck by lightning. And so anyway, he does these things with, who was the guy? Gene Simmons, the guy from Kiss, and just people like that. It's just like, yay, advice from professional tax evaders. That's what this guy is. Great. I'm successful, therefore I'm not owed anything, or I don't owe anyone anything. So again, it's kind of sad.
Oh man.
So I don't know where this is going to go, but I get a feeling, I had lost Opie and Anthony this year. Fuck, if I have to unsubscribe Adam Carolla, his hijinks, what's going to be left? I'm gonna have tell him Steve Dave and Kevin Smith, and that's and dude. It's like I gotta find some new hobbies or something. I'm starting to run out of podcasts because everyone's becoming a gross right winger. Or not even a right winger. I don't have a problem with a right winger, but I do have a problem with just bullshit.
Yeah.
Just crazy, insane bullshit.
Well, there's this host. It's he hosts a talk show on ESPN Radio. His name's Colin Cowherd, and he'll do and he always has to waste time, and it's like he seems like a generally interesting guy, and he can talk about sports, but then he has to fill time, and then it just goes into all his conservative values and him talking about how him evangelizing rich and successful people and how that relates to conservatism and
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
The one time I watched his show, I got that from him, and I was like, close.
I'm done. I'm tapping out.
And he just he's always talking about this is what conservatives do, and this is why they're successful, and then he'll go and then he'll give paper tiger argument. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase, but
straw man.
Yeah, straw man arguments for the supposed opposition, and then bring out his point. I mean, he's talking to himself for about 2 hours, but it gets very annoying.
Well, see, the thing with people like that and with Carolla and all those people is, I'm glad you're successful, and there is something to be said for not being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But there's also something to be said for just some people are made to just have normal lives. Some people are made to work and go home and eat dinner with their families, and that is 99% of America. But to try to act like, well, we're just going to throw all these people under the bus because they don't have millions of dollars or whatever, it's like, that's fucking insane. And you're not going to get there. I mean, that's the thing. Logically, you are not going to get there. All these people, Donald Trump's selling you a book about how to make $1 million. The only motherfucker making $1 million there is Donald Trump. You're not going to make money like that. I mean, it is a bolt of lightning that happens. And if you have something that you can sell and you can work hard at that is worth that kind of money, great, go for it. No one's going to stop you on your way to your dream. But you're talking about such a small percentage of people. It's how many guys are going to walk on the moon. Should you aspire to this? Because it's not like it's unobtainable, but it definitely requires more than a little bit of I'm not going to say luck, but just being in the right place at the right time. So
True.
I don't know, I don't know how, and that's not all of it.
Some
Hard
people
work-
get to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and some people sell their souls for
There's
success.
different ways, and some people walk so that others may fly, and that's just the way it works. That's just how it is sometimes. That's not
There's
gonna...
some stepping stones in life that you walk on to reach success, and sometimes you're the stepping stone.
Yeah, and that's a gross system. It's why that's why there's so. It's one of the reasons the world is so fucked up is that more and more and more and more and more. But then again, I bathe in a society that benefits from that, so I'll say that. But then when they're like, "Well, we're taking your nachos away," fuck it, nuke them. Gas is gonna go up 25 cents. Kill them all.
Who has to die so my bank account reads larger?
Yeah. So it's hypocritical, and for everyone in America just needs to just keep their head down and be quiet about that. It's like, we're successful. Don't tell anyone else. They're looking at us. They want in. Keep the door shut. It's America.
Don't give away your secrets.
Yeah. America, keep it to yourself. Keep this party train rolling. We don't care who dies.
That's always funny. There's always, you read about people in Hollywood. I follow a lot of directors, and you find their success story, how they made it. And it's like everyone in Hollywood, everyone's trying to make it in Hollywood, and there's no one way to make it, because once you find the way to make it, that avenue is now closed to anybody else.
Yeah. It's like the light cycles in Tron. Once you blaze the path, you're throwing a trail behind you. Don't kill anyone else, so they've got to weave around. That should be our metaphor. Life is like the Tron light cycles game. Not the new one. That movie sucked. The old one. That was sort of cool, but
Because I remember there's like a story about how Steven Spielberg made it in Hollywood, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it's the story they tell. But where he went to Warner Brothers lot or something like that, I can't remember, and he just picked out a closet and dressed it up like it was his office, and he just went there every day until people believed that he was a part of the system, and he started making movies.
What?
he faked his way in.
Should sound like a movie.
I could see that actually working in that time period, though. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a compelling story.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I over shutdown or whatever we had the last 3 weeks, I was watching. I watched an old movie that I love. Weirdly enough, I was watching The French Connection. It's odd because of what happened in France while we were off, and I don't know if you guys remember the plot of that movie, where they were bringing they were smuggling heroin in cars that would be impounded, so that way nobody would search them.
Okay.
And then they would go buy the cars at auction that had $1 million worth of heroin in them for $300 because they were these New York City impound cars. And it's like, how easy it would be to be a fucking criminal back then. There's no cameras everywhere. These two cops were running after someone, and then someone had to stop and can I use your phone? They had to call someone on the phone. It's we need some cars down here, and if you could just go back in time 30 years, you could be a master criminal.
Damn.
It's probably, I believe that the world was simple enough that Spielberg could do something like that.
I remember that kind of reminds me of one. I can't remember the documentary, but it's about the drug dealers in Miami in the 70s and 80s.
Was it a Cocaine Cowboy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's it.
I have that DVR. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
again, that's another thing I see. It's I could be that guy.
Well, you saw they have one genius idea. If somebody gets pulled over and they have the cars full of drugs, then they're gonna get busted, and there's all those things. But if somebody tows the car, then nobody's liable for for all the drugs in the car. I was like, that's genius.
Yep. And I like the other one where he always had, what was it? There was an amount of money you could have that was perfect. No cop was there was no cop that was not bribable.
Yeah.
But you had to have with it, if you had over $1 million, there's a good chance the cop would shoot you because you resisted arrest. But if you had 5 to 10,000, which back in the early '80s is a lot of money, that's enough where the guy's just going to forget about you, but you don't have much more than that because then he'll just shoot you and just like, well, fuck, I'll take all the money. Yeah, there's an awesome book I have. Just looking through it the other day. It's called Invisible Empire. And basically, the book ends in like 1990, but it talks about the super drug culture that came up through the 70s and 80s. Just insane. Just like so much money was being made, they were just having to bury it in cargo containers because they just don't know what to do with all the money. Like it's just impossible to and just but the reason it was called Invisible Empire, it was just they were talking about how the entire south of Florida just floated on cocaine. Like it's just everything was cocaine profits. And the amounts of money that were made were staggering, just bewildering.
Well, like, isn't that basically like, the amount of money that's going towards that is it's basically why there was a drug wars, because like all this money is being diverted to like criminals. It's like...
Yeah, it was actually what did they say it was? Cocaine at its apex, which was like 84, actually was starting to, it was like 2% of the GDP or something. Like it was not cocaine itself, but the cars and homes and whores and booze and everything that was bought with the cocaine money was like it was becoming 2% of our GDP, which is hundreds of billions of dollars, like, or no, hundreds of millions at that time. But yeah, it's mind-boggling.
It's not like they're paying taxes.
Yeah, and there's no taxes. It's all give, no take, and it's but see, that's like drugs have become like entertainment now. It's all diffuse. It's regional. Like I don't think there's no like California cocaine kingpin that's got the entire southeast or southwest of the country or something anymore. Now it's all little groups.
Yeah.
It's and then the marijuana it's practically legal. It's for all intents and purposes we're 5 years away from it just being completely legal, and it's so it's like entertainment now. It's like you'll never get 100 million eyes on a TV set, but if you can get 5 million a week, you're doing good. Because you with all the ways you have to deliver stuff now, drugs, entertainment, whatever it is.
Well, yeah, because like recreational drugs are like just now entertainment. Because if you really want drugs, you're conning your way into getting like OxyContin and codeine and stuff like that. Like that's where the real like drug heads are now. It's all in like prescription medication.
Which is there's a legal funded and tax paying element in those corporations that's tied to that.
Yeah.
Which is I think why the pills are allowed to continue. As a matter of fact, did you hear about Super Vicodin?
No.
Yes, there's now they just this year they FDA approved Super Vicodin. It's one tablet that has like it's kind of I don't know how it's kind of like an M&M. It's like there's layers. There's a layer of painkiller, a layer of something that makes it absorb slowly, a layer of painkiller. You basically take one and it's good for 8 to 10 hours of like solid pain relief.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it's like anyone who studies this is like, that's the worst fucking idea I've ever heard. But they're doing it because they say it has all these compounds in it that makes it so where you can't chop it up and snort it or get really high off of it really quick, which basically means for like a week it won't do that until some drug head puts a thing on YouTube about it. Microwave it in vinegar and snort it, and you'll lose your mind. But they'll keep selling it, and I was just and when I hear things like that, it makes me think it's like, oh, the fix is in. Come on, Super Vicodin. We can't even keep South Florida off of OxyContin. Like, I mean, you can make it illegal. You can make it to where you have to go to the doctor to get one fucking pill, and there's still some dude in Florida with a freezer bag full of woohoo and a bottle of tequila. It's like, so whatever your system is not working, or it's either it's that badly broken, or you guys are like the fix is in. Like everyone's getting paid on some level, because there's just no way that's yeah. Well, yeah, because like nobody's sucking dick behind dumpsters for weed. Like that's not happening. It doesn't exist. It's always the painkillers, the meth.
I think like the biggest rise in like drugs is like it's like housewives who are like taking pain medication and they're like can't get enough of it, so then they switch to meth or they add
or heroin.
They add meth or heroin to like their pain management.
Wow.
I remember Mom used to watch TV and stuff. It's like, imagine coming home to like your mom's like drawing a needle. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, in the '60s and the '70s, everyone was on what was that stuff they just came out with? It's not Ativan. It was the Rolling Stones had a song about it. Mother's Little Helper. What was that? Percocet? No, I can't think of what it. Valium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone was doing the '60s and '70s. Everyone was doing Valium and wine, which is George Carlin, who did every drug under the sun. So the toughest thing for him to quit was red wine and like Valium and Vicodin and stuff. 'Cause he said, I've never felt so at peace with myself as when I drank a bottle of wine and took a bunch of Vicodin and Valium. He goes, and I've done cocaine, I've done crack, I've done all kinds of shit, and the best thing was red wine and like Valium. It's like, whoa, and that's been around a long, long, long time. I mean, that goes back to before we were born, which is a long, long time ago. Well, at least in my case.
Damn.
As I approach death, as I lay dying,
Tell your sorrows to the Stones.
yeah. Therefore, I tell my sorrows to the Stones. Speaking of sorrows, horror story this week. Today, the mother in Pennsylvania takes a newborn baby out to the middle of the road, pours gas on it, lights it on fire. There's nothing funny about it. I'm not even going to try to make a joke about it yet. Give it a few weeks to marinate. But the weird thing is, I was like, how much does that happen? That's got to be like once every 5 years somebody does something that crazy. I went and looked about 110 times a year in America. People light newborns, infants on fire as a form, or sometimes they leave them in dumpsters or whatever. But the whole immolation thing is like that's the real eye opener. Like, wow, really? That we couldn't just leave them in a fire department or a police station. We got to go light them on fire. But then to find out it happens like about 100 times a year in this country alone.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's amazing.
So what mental illnesses they attribute this to?
I have no idea. It's just the last update I got on it was right before the show started. The baby had died, so that was the last I'd heard. So this is a new thing.
Was this not Florida?
No, this is Pennsylvania.
Oh,
This leads me into the next topic, which is about Florida, which is about this. But I don't know if I showed Mark this. This is this guy's girlfriend broke up with him at the convenience store, so he decides to come in and throw gas on her and light her on fire. That's her running out the door.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's Florida.
Damn.
As Vice magazine calls Florida, or as Vice News calls Florida, America's bellwether, the proverbial canary in the coal mine for where crime, drugs, and murder is heading.
Damn.
That's Florida. But yeah, that's
I don't know if I want some pussy that's that good. On fire. Shit.
it's pretty rough. I mean, when you're like, it's like if no one's gonna have you, if I can't have you, no one can. We just light you on fire, which is like that's like hate.
Damn.
That's not like shooting somebody or stabbing them. That's just like if you live through this, you're gonna be hideously deformed.
Probably in pain for the rest of your life.
Yeah, probably in a lot of pain.
Damn.
Yeah, let's see what's going on with. But yeah, the other thing about Florida, the child immolations. There's one chance in 3 they're going to happen in Florida. That's something I found out. Florida also has the highest rate of. And I don't really hate Florida. I don't know anything about it, but it just keeps coming up. Your chances of being charged, or not being charged, you have to actually do it to be charged. But if you're going to be charged with public masturbation, one chance in 3 it's going to happen in Florida.
People just jerking off in Florida?
Oh yeah. Oh, you hear every week. Every week you hear something about like there was a guy with no lower jaw who the school bus would let out right in front of his house, and he would stand in a bay window and masturbate completely naked. And then when the police
He's got no jaw, he deserves to jerk off.
Well, then the police told him he can't do that in front of kids in an open window, he burnt the apartment complex down as an act of, I'll show you, by God.
Tell me I can't stroke myself in front of these
This
teenagers.
is America.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
50-year-old.
Yeah, this section here, it's what is it right now, the 18th of January. It's 18 months into the new year. This is like 100 things that have already happened in Florida.
Wow.
Let's see, his 50-year-old neighbor masturbating in his front yard,
Working it real.
and she told the
Working real
police he
hard
was
at it,
working
too.
real hard at it. Second incident this year so far. We're 18 days into the new year. It gets real hot down here in Florida. Airboat captain had his hand chomped off by an alligator. Oh. Yeah, that was the one where the lady's husband, she was begging for or ex-boyfriend, she was begging for a restraining order. They wouldn't give it to her. And so he went to the 7-Eleven store and lit her on fire. That was the one.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So already a revenge fire.
Yeah, already a revenge fire.
Wow.
There's so many of these I can't.
Wait, what?
Oh, the Port Charlotte one.
Forced to resign after
Oh yeah. Volusia County High School teacher was forced to resign after a video entitled "Gay Threesome Sex" accidentally popped up on a projector during his class. Oops. A teacher in St. Petersburg was arrested for instructing students to cut and burn themselves in order to rid their bodies of demons.
What is going on in Florida?
Oh, it's fucking. It's just like a crucible of evil down there.
Oh shit.
Well, there's
Oh man.
it's like this. It's
Oh, did Conlon drop out?
like this perfect.
Oh, there you go.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So you have no sales tax down there, so a lot of people just moving down there for that. It's like the number one place to retire. So there's a lot of old people to take advantage of down there with money.
Right.
It's it's basically summer year round there. But that's also, it has all the worst weather happens there because not only can you get hurricanes and stuff there, but it'll also snow and you can get tornadoes in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a crazy place.
Damn.
It is a weird place. I'm looking for my Florida Man Twitter feed.
I would have never known. Oh shit.
There we go. Florida Man. This is just news from Florida. Florida man throws cocaine out of car window onto hood of trailing police car. Florida man takes selfies after driving into building.
See, oh yeah, dude, they used to do like This Week in Florida for like 3 years, and it just got so much. It's like nothing. It was like so many like episodes in a row. Nothing ever not happened in Florida. They just stopped doing it. It's like,
Yeah.
we've concluded Florida is a terrible place.
Yeah, it just got too big for him. It's taken over the whole show. We've done several shows where we talk about nothing but Florida stuff. Florida man attacks roommate with samurai sword over washcloth.
Wow.
Florida man caught trying to drive cracked stuffed loaf of bread over Canadian border.
Really?
What, this one?
This guy got on one.
Florida man, no seriously, I have drugs t-shirt arrested for possession of drugs.
Dickhead.
Who needs drugs? No, seriously, I have drugs. He had meth. And he looks like meth.
Yeah.
That guy is meth. Like, you could chip a rock off that guy and smoke it and get high as fuck.
Was it just like long beard, like 3 teeth?
No, it's
No beard, but you can see he's probably missing every tooth in his mouth.
yeah, there's where, how can I send this to you?
I've seen it before. I'm just trying to remember the picture.
Yeah, no, he's like a real moon face guy with a big jaw.
I'll say it on there.
Odd look at what? No.
It's like your buddy. I can't think of his name. I call him Stallone at work.
Which one's that? Oh, Miami Vice. Yeah.
Fucking angry face.
Fucking dude looks like murder every day. Then you talk to him, it's like, hey, what's? Oh, nothing. How's it going? But he looks like he's gonna fucking kill you. Oh shit. Yeah, that's Florida's an interesting place. Oh, there was a mall shooting in Florida today. Hell, I wasn't even looking for it. It just popped up. 2 people killed in Florida mall shooting. Ugh. Looks like somebody was fucking around somebody was fucking around this guy's wife, and he decided to go shoot everyone. That works. That's cheaper than divorce.
And I think just the most amazing thing is all this shit that happens in Florida, and it's never national headlines.
Well, because it's just accepted.
Yeah.
It's just like part of the. It's just like part of the ether. It's like Florida. Oh, okay. What can we say about that?
Wow. What the fuck are we looking at, man?
Where's this dude's
John
kissing?
Kerry? And whoever this dude is?
Oh, Francois Hollande. He's the president of France. You know that Eurotrash thing? They kiss the sides of the face. You know?
Oh, it looked like. All right.
Yeah, no, they're not getting ready to make out. That'd be weird.
I'm not even sure if this is true. I saw a headline on Reddit, and it said like it's like whatever the chief of police is went to go see like the victims of the shootings family, and then afterwards killed himself.
Oh no, that was the guy who was investigating the chief of police in Paris who was investigating the shootings.
Yeah.
After he turned in the report, he took out his revolver or took out his service pistol and shot himself to death at his desk because he was so disturbed by what happened. I don't know.
All right.
He felt responsible, or it's kind of an opener for a conspiracy theory. Because everything's a conspiracy now. Because everyone's got internet and.
Well, there's this weird like response to this stuff where it's like suddenly it's like there's like all these like videos of like the SWAT teams are like taking down like these terrorist organizations, and like you kind of like raw, yeah, go ahead, but then like you don't know what the fuck's happening, who these people are, what they're being accused of, and like we might just be like,
just rounding people up.
Yeah.
I arrest you for looking Middle Eastern. J'accuse. Yeah. Oh God. Here's another Florida one. Mark, you're gonna have to read this headline.
Oh shit. Cop shot blacks. Mug shots is practice. Oh wow.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you know what? I read this yesterday.
This just came out. This is another Florida feed off the same network. North Miami's police department has come under fire after a soldier discovered that they were using mugshots of black men for target practice. Sergeant Valerie Deant discovered the photos when using the firing range after police training sessions. One of the mugshots was her brother's. Wow.
It's nothing like what you're going to see out on the field, guys. This is what you're going to be shooting out there.
Jesus Christ.
It's nothing like the real thing.
Oh.
No more of those fucking cartoon guys with the skull caps and revolvers.
No,
get actual mugshots.
Actual people. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'd love to hear the story for that. It's Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, that's terrible. And again, Florida. Let's read the comments. Why did the cop shoot to kill rather than shooting someone in the knee? Obama! Exclamation point.
This is so wrong.
I always like the weird comments that happen like whenever there's some sort of shooting, and then like somebody always inevitably says like, why didn't the cop shoot the gun out of his hand?
Yeah, I always like that. Like that's doable. Like this fucking RoboCop there, just with like laser eyes. Yeah, that always works.
Can we check this out? I wanted this earlier.
Oh, the analyst.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it to come up bigger.
Did you
Shit.
Did you see that earlier, Conlon? Fucking Greg Anthony got busted for a prostitute, I guess.
I'm gonna move this. Let me move this so you can read. Now, who is Greg Anthony?
He does a lot of CBS basketball and stuff.
So this is why I wouldn't know who he was.
What does he used to play for Vancouver?
I don't know who the hell he played for. I want to say he played for Portland, maybe. I think he played for Portland.
We
Is he
get the
like-
full article.
Is he like one of the TBS guys? Like one of the
CBS?
or not
It's like,
or TNT?
No, not TNT. No,
No,
he does
okay.
most of the college games on.
Oh, okay. Might think of.
CBS.
He was picked up in D.C., charged with soliciting a prostitute. He was released Friday evening with no details. According to the NCAA website, he was scheduled to announce the Michigan State-Maryland men's basketball game Saturday in College Park, Maryland. The guard played 11 seasons with 6 teams from 91 to 92, 2001 to 2002, including the New York Knicks and the Portland Trail Blazers.
I thought it would have more of a story. I saw that earlier. I thought that was funny. Cause I don't know, maybe it wasn't long ago when he was one of those like guys should be
Faithful. And...
go at home with your family and I'm out buying pussy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's on TV a lot, so you got to put up a good game.
Yeah.
I,
The Republicans.
yeah, I don't know why he can't just be, oh, he's been suspended indefinitely by CBS.
You're fired.
Yeah, he says he will not be working again for CBS this season. It's around that.
Or any other season.
He has no further comment.
Wow.
So he was a little sanctimonious, huh? Oh, he was arrested in a room at Doubletree. Oh, so there's like no doubt. This wasn't like I was just giving her a ride. With his pants down, looking for a roadhead.
Yeah, how the fuck does that? Unless this was a sting operation, how the fuck does that work?
Probably was a sting operation.
Oh, okay.
In D.C., you don't have
DC.
any rights. Yeah, it's fucking where you say goes. I mean, you can smoke.
I don't know.
There, but,
Yeah, like how do you you just bust in the room like you're fucking that girl and there's money on the table. We know what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of that weird double standard like Joe Rogan was talking about with pot versus liquor. Because if we were at work and I said, "Hey, Mark, I'm going to go drink liquid drugs after work," which is alcohol, everyone would be like, "Yeah, cool, good job." But if I yelled out loud, "I'm going to go smoke weed after work," oh, you'll get fired. Don't be saying that shit.
Right.
But it's like it's the same thing.
Right.
It's just like if a woman wants to film herself having sex with some dude and get paid, that's perfectly legal. That's pornography. However, if she wants to get paid for having sex with some guy, that's illegal. That's prostitution. It's like, well, wait a minute, what?
One's art, Nathan.
Yes.
It's protected by the Constitution.
This is meaningful. This is important to me. Good God. So this guy's a little sanctimonious, huh? He's going to be eating a little crow.
Well, no, I mean, not publicly anymore. He's not going to have a job anymore.
Yeah, where do you go after this?
Well, if you're Marv Albert, you just go back to broadcasting.
Right?
You just go back to what?
Broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Marv Albert didn't get caught with a hooker, or did he?
Cross-dressing.
Yeah, he had weird
He was
things
into like weird, violent sex, like I want to bite you on the ass type
Yeah.
stuff, wasn't it? Okay.
And heels and pumps and lipsticks and shit.
What the fuck? When is just sex like not enough? When does that become? Sex has always been like that's good, that's satisfying. I don't need to be hit with a whip. I don't need to be gagged. I don't need to be punched. I don't need any of that.
How do you
Never
know?
wanna get to that moment. Or that point in my life where I just got so much money where I'm like, you know what? I need to have a dog watch me have sex. I just need that to get me to that point.
Yeah.
I don't want to get that rich. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be that jaded where life has just no more meaning for me. What are we gonna do tonight, honey? I don't know, but put on a gas mask. Get ready. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Oh man.
As you look into the dead pits of my soul.
Get the chainmail and Vaseline. It's time to go to work.
Yeah. Got the number for that carpenter. It's gonna tear the house apart.
Fucking terrible.
They got whole things set up for that though. I never understood like famous people and hookers.
Yeah.
Like this guy, like you need a prostitute? Can't you just find somebody?
Oh, and he's a basketball player. So you think pussy's just flying around? I mean, dude's like
Yeah.
6'8" or something like that.
Right?
Just pick it out of the trees at that point. Are you famous? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to try that hard. I guess I don't know. And prostitutes, that's just scary.
Yeah.
That's just like because all I think about is like STDs and it's just like whoa.
You would think at that point, that kind of like you're paying for it already. At that point, you can find somebody who's
Yeah.
a bit cleaner than a fucking prostitute who's been working all day.
Yeah.
The only thing
When you're calling down to the concierge at your kind of mid-level one-star hotel, what you're going to get coming up into that room is going to be something you don't want a part of, you know.
So I always just
Guy
figure
at the Four
out.
Seasons running whores out of the back, you know. This is some Greek who's got his hand around his throat while you're talking to him on the phone. Don't know who wants to do that.
I always just figure like with when famous people do that is that there's like a particular loneliness to their success, and like they want somebody that like completely like equally disposable.
Yeah. Just do that. Just somebody, just you're like a Snickers bar wrapper to me. I'm empty and dead inside, and yeah, I guess I don't know. I've never understood that problem with money. If someone wants to give me enough money, I want to see if like life can become that meaningless. I just don't think it can. I don't think it can. I'll try though. Definitely give it a shot. But when I'm driving around in a $500,000 car, you know, sinking into my luxury recliner at home and my 100-inch TV, I just don't think I'm just gonna be like, you know, what would make this perfect? A prostitute. What would make this better? Oh, throwing my whole life and career away.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the just having the money or like the work becomes like pressure. Because like if in that dare it was just like Brewster's Millions, like that'd be fun as fuck. It's like
Yeah.
how fast can I throw away this money? But if it's like if I want to keep this, you know, I've spent my whole life trying to attain it, and now I don't enjoy it, and then now like you know, the job is just tedium, but I still have to like perform, and then I don't know.
Yeah. I'm looking up the Marv Albert scandal right now.
He's probably still got some prom dresses in his closet.
It's like we have a special room that's completely devoid of any electronical equipment.
Yeah. They say the reason it didn't destroy Marv Albert is because Bob Costas was his replacement. It's like the only reason he made himself indispensable because Bob Costas was his replacement.
Yeah, I mean, he's like he does like the radio announcing for like football, and still does announcing for TNT and everything. But yeah, he got back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't destroy his career. Just made him weird for a couple of years, and he was like a joke for about 10 years on Jay Leno.
He's a punchline for everything.
Yeah. Well, until Eddie Murphy like picked up the transvestite or whatever happened.
Yeah, you don't hear anything about Eddie Murphy anymore. I hear more about his brother than I do him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of went behind the scenes with all those animated flicks.
Yeah.
What's the Shrek?
Shrek.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest one he's done to date.
Well, I don't think he's running out of money anytime soon.
Yeah.
So.
I remember he got back into comedy for a little bit. He was like, I want to get back to my roots, but I never heard anything come out of that. So.
Oh, they wouldn't. Who was it? One of the podcasts I listened to, it was his brother was talking about that,
Yeah.
and it was going to be fucking impossible for him to because they'd said it would just been a riot. Like if he wanted to actually do a club or something again, they'd be like, "There's no way, you won't even touch him because it'd be And plus, that's a lot of hard work. That would be interesting for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then he'd be
Well,
like,
I don't know. I
"Fuck
mean,
this."
Chris Rock does it like because like when he like works on a new like hour or whatever, like it becomes a big ordeal. But it starts out he's just like in a comedy club, like he's got like a sheet of notes and he's just like kind of like reading off the jokes. Like it doesn't have this it doesn't have like this big spectacle to it. He's not like walking across the screen. He doesn't have all everything down. He's just working his routine like in like New York for like half an hour or somewhere while he figures out. And it's just like, and it's like, and then people like are really critical of it because like they see Chris Rock there and they expect like bring the
Right.
pain, and then it's just
Yeah,
like it's just him up there being basically Louis C.K.
just freewheeling. Yeah,
Yeah, I have this idea, and then like nowadays like comedians get upset with because there's everybody has cell phones and they record like their routine that they're working on and they throw it online. He's like, I'm working on it. I'm not done with it yet.
yeah,
You've already ruined my punchline for my new hour.
yeah. Well, it looks like can't find anything. The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Terrible.
He did Dreamgirls. That was a
Yeah, that's the last thing I remember he did. When he got like nominated for something for that.
yeah.
It was funny in Tower Heist.
There was
Oh
something.
yeah,
Him and Ben Affleck and
Ben Stiller.
yeah, that's one man. Yeah. A few more guys that was in there. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The older guy, I like that guy.
Alan Alda.
Yeah, I like that guy.
He's still around. So I always think of him from MASH. And there's his dad.
Hmm?
Riveting podcasting. Meet Dave. What was that?
Oh, what the fuck was that? Shit.
He's like a robot, or I don't know. I didn't see.
Yeah, there's some like alien things on there. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's weird. I hear it's awful.
Little him and the big him was like the alien or a robot or some shit. I don't know. It was retarded.
Oh.
It was like, yeah, I think it was like the one he did after Norbit. It's like, can he make a worse movie? It's like, yes, he can.
What
I
was
think-
Norbit about?
He's just like it was like another movie where he plays like 6 different roles and like he's just kind of like a loser and he has like a big fat wife who's like controlling his life and then yeah, I hear it wasn't very good, but there was kind of an error there for Eddie Murphy. Well, the ironic thing about Meet Dave is like I hear it's a terrible movie and it's written by one of the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It looks like Beverly Hills Cop 4 is his next project. Directed by Brett Ratner.
Oh man.
Okay.
That's going to be a hit. He'll be putting all his own money up to do that.
I mean, it has to be better than 3. 3 was like PG-13 and terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I don't even remember seeing it.
He spit the whole thing at was it Wonderland or?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was terrible.
I don't know. I just know he was in one of my like top 10 favorite movies of all time, 48 Hours. First movie. That fucking movie's great. Hard to believe how old that movie is now. Like 1982. Holy shit. It's one of the most violent. That was like one of the last. What would you call that? That was like almost in the tradition of like the Wild Bunch or something. It was such a violent movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I don't know. Beverly Hills Cop was like it's a lot more dirty and violent than you remember because he's like, oh, here's a wacky comedy where he's putting a banana in a tailpipe, but there's like his friends getting murdered and he has to run to Beverly Hills to like figure everything out.
Yeah, I do
And,
remember
like,
that was.
And Beverly Hills Cop 2 was directed by shit, what's his name? It's
Tony Scott.
yeah, Tony Scott. So I had that. It was like a comedy, but it had like this big action, like kind of cinematography to it.
I don't remember another 48 Hours being very good.
No, I think it didn't open. I thought it had a cool, or was it? Which was I think one of them opens with them like hijacking a bus, and that was kind of cool.
I don't remember. I think the 48 Hours they were on a prison gang somewhere, or on a chain gang in California. That's 48 Hours. I don't remember how another 48 Hours opened.
Yeah, I think it opens up with like somebody gets busted out of a bus transporting prisoners or something like that, and that was kind of the best part of another 48 hours.
Yeah. Don't remember even seeing that one.
Of course, comedy sequels are rarely good because it's basically like let's just put this formula back together again, and we'll just come up with a different plot that's basically revolves around the same four ideas from the first movie.
Yeah. So I never thought of 48 Hours as a comedy, though.
Well, it's like an action Well, I mean,
It's
yeah,
kind of the prototype for like Lethal Weapon.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very
I don't know.
similar.
I don't know. The like all those movies, they kind of had a sense of humor to them with like Lethal Weapon and
Just like
Die
that
Hard.
action flick with the comedian in it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it was a comedy though. Good stuff.
because yeah, like I don't know, Mel Gibson is probably more of a a serious actor, but like in Lethal Weapon, he was like he was the he was the weird comedic relief, even though he was suicidal.
He was nuts. Had that faraway look in his eyes. Oh, Mel
Like when
Gibson.
he grabs the guy and jumps off the roof with him.
Yeah. You want to go? Let's go. Let's go together. Is that weird look in his eyes?
Did you see the trailer for the new Mad Max?
Yeah.
Like the latest one where it's like extra weird.
Yeah.
They're doing Mad Max again?
Yeah, it's was it Mad Max Fury Road?
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
It's a reboot.
Well, I know
So
it's like it's a continuation, but they have that Tom Hardy is Max now. But it's still the same director who's directed all the other three.
That's Walter Miller, right? Or yeah, is
Walter
that
or is
who
it
it is?
Arthur Miller or something? Something Miller.
George Miller.
Yeah, George Miller. Yeah.
I
Also,
remember he went to school to be a doctor. He like went all the way through school, was a doctor. He's like, I want to make movies. It's like,
no
really?
shit.
You see
he
like
does. He gets weird hobbies and he just follows it to his full extent. Because he also directed Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2.
yeah.
Alright.
It's like I would love to see like for when Happy Feet came out if they would decide to put like from the director of Mad Max.
I would have. I don't think this is the crazy trailer. Oh yeah, it is.
Out here, everything hurts. You want to get through this? Do as I say. Now pick up what you can and run. Oh, what a day! What a lovely day! your neighbor.
They've made it like it's almost humorous.
Wait, who want to see?
Yeah, it could be. It depends on what your suits from the, the weird suits from the 80s. Yeah, you can draw with Google. Like draw weird. Wait a minute. I don't know what they're doing here. This is riveting podcasting too. Oh, I put a crown. Why does it keep wanting to frame? Oh, I better quit fucking around. Talk to me.